Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. In the history of warfare, there is a constant race between the shield and the sword. Someone builds a better armor so someone else builds a sharper blade. It is a dance of technology that has lasted for thousands of years. But what happens when you meet an enemy whose armor is perfect? What happens when your lasers bounce off, your missiles dissolve, and your nukes are absorbed like water into a sponge? Do you surrender? Do you give up? Or do you realize that if you can't be the swordsman, you have to become the sword? Today's story is about the Battle of the Proxima Line. It is the story of the day humanity stopped fighting with weapons and started fighting with physics. If you believe that Sir Isaac Newton is the deadliest man in space, smash that like button. And if you want to know why aliens now enforce a 50,000-mile speed limit around human ships, subscribe and ring the bell. Brace for impact. The bridge of the UNS ironclad smelled of burning ozone and copper blood. Admiral Marcus Cole gripped the railing of the command deck, his knuckles white. The ship shuddered violently as another volley of plasma fire raked across the starboard hull. "Shields are down to 4%, shouted Lieutenant Graves, his voice cracking with panic. "Hull integrity is failing on decks 4 through 9. Admiral, we can't take another hit like that." Cole looked at the main view screen. It was a scene of absolute slaughter. The human expeditionary fleet, the pride of Earth, was burning. 50 destroyers, 12 cruisers, and 3 carriers, reduced to drifting scrap metal in less than an hour. Floating against the backdrop of the Proxima Nebula was the enemy, the Solari. They were beautiful. That was the most insulting part. Their ships looked like stained glass windows given flight, teardrop shapes of gold and violet light, pulsing with an energy that defied human understanding. "Return fire," Cole ordered, though he knew it was futile. "Firing main rail guns," Tactical reported. On the screen, massive tungsten slugs, accelerated to a fraction of the speed of light, streaked towards the Solari flagship, the Light of Dawn. It should have been a killing blow. But as the slugs approached the alien ship, a shimmering prismatic barrier flared into existence. The prismatic shield. The tungsten slugs hit the light. They didn't explode. They didn't penetrate. They simply stopped. Their kinetic energy was instantly dispersed, converted into harmless radiation. The slugs bounced off like pebbles hitting a tank. "Direct hit," Tactical whispered, defeated. "No damage. Target shields are holding at 100%. Cole slammed his fist onto the console. "It's impossible. Physics doesn't work like that. You can't just delete kinetic energy." "They can," said the science officer, Dr. Aris. "Their shields manipulate the strong nuclear force. They create a localized field where momentum is negated. We can't hurt them, Admiral. We are throwing rocks at ghosts." Across the void, aboard the Light of Dawn, High Exarch Valen watched the battle with a look of bored disdain. "Primitive," Valen mused, sipping a goblet of nectar. "They fight with metal and fire. They are children throwing toys." "Shall we finish them, Exarch?" his subordinate asked. "Not yet. Let them despair. Let them see that their resistance is meaningless. Then we will vaporize them." On the ironclad, the mood was funereal. "Admiral," Graves said softly, "the Solari are hailing us. They are demanding unconditional surrender." Cole looked at the burning wreckage of the UNS Valkyrie floating outside. He thought about Earth only 2 jumps away. If the Solari broke through here, there was nothing stopping them from glassing the planet. Surrender wasn't an option. Extinction was the alternative. Cole watched the wreckage of the Valkyrie. A large chunk of the destroyed ship's engine block was spinning wildly, tumbling through space. It was dead weight. No weapons. No power. As he watched, the debris drifted into the path of a Solari frigate. The frigate didn't bother to move. It raised its prismatic shield, expecting the debris to bounce off like the railgun slugs. But the engine block was massive. It weighed 40,000 tons. And it was spinning. It hit the shield. The shield flared blindingly bright. It tried to disperse the energy. But there was too much mass. Too much surface area. Crunch. The shield flickered and collapsed. The engine block smashed into the delicate golden hull of the frigate, crushing it like an eggshell. Atmosphere vented. The alien ship spun out of control, dark and dead. Cole froze. "Did you see that?" he whispered. "Sir?" Graves asked. "The debris," Cole pointed. "The shield broke." "Why did the shield break?" Dr. Aris looked at the telemetry. "The mass, Admiral. The railgun slugs are small and fast. The shield disperses them easily. But the debris, it was slow but it was heavy. The shield couldn't process the sheer volume of matter interacting with the field at once. It overloaded." Cole's eyes widened. A dark, terrifying realization formed in his mind. They built a wall to stop bullets, Cole said, a grim smile forming on his bloodied lips. They didn't build a wall to stop a train. Sir? We've been trying to pierce them, Cole said, his voice rising. We've been trying to be precise. We've been trying to be smart. That was our mistake. He walked to the comm station. Open a channel to the fleet. All remaining ships. Channel open, Admiral. Cole took a breath. This is Admiral Cole. Listen to me. Stop firing your weapons. Shut down the railguns. Shut down the missile batteries. Reroute all auxiliary power to the main thrusters. Override the safety limiters on the reactors. Confusion rippled through the fleet. Admiral, you want us to run? The captain of the UNS Indomitable asked. No, Cole growled. I want you to become the weapon. The enemy shields are designed to stop high-velocity, low-mass projectiles, Cole explained rapidly. They can't stop 100,000 tons of steel moving at ramming speed. They can't stop us. Silence on the comms. Ramming. It was a tactic from the age of wooden sailing ships. It was suicide. If we stay here and shoot, Cole said, we die and Earth burns. If we do this, we die but we take them with us. Target the largest ship nearest to you. Lock navigation. And burn until your engines melt. There was a pause. A moment where the soul of the fleet hung in the balance. Then the voice of the indomitable captain returned. Come. Resolute. Copy that, Admiral. Targeting the enemy cruiser. Diverting power to engines. It's been an honor. See you on the other side, Cole whispered. On the light of dawn, Exarch Valen frowned. The human ships, he noted. They have ceased firing. Are they surrendering? No, Exarch, the sensor operator replied, confused. Their energy signatures are spiking. They are dumping their reactor cores directly into their drive plumes. They are accelerating. Accelerating? Towards what? An escape vector? No, Exarch. Towards us. Valen laughed. They intend to ram? Barbaric. Raise shield intensity to maximum. They will bounce off like insects on a windscreen. The Solari were confident. Their technology was superior. But they had forgotten the most basic law of the universe. Force equals mass times acceleration. The UNS Ironclad groaned. The metal frame screamed as the engines pushed the ship beyond its structural limits. Speed is 20,000 meters per second and climbing. Graves shouted, strapping himself into his crash chair. Impact in 30 seconds. Cole stood at the window. He didn't sit down. He wanted to see it. The light of dawn grew larger in the window. A golden mountain of arrogance. They're trying to move. Tactical yelled. They realize we aren't stopping. Too late, Cole said. Keep the nose steady. The Solari fleet broke formation. Panic, real alien panic, finally set in. They fired everything they had. Beams of light carved chunks out of the ironclad. The bridge window cracked. Fire erupted on the deck. But a ship that is already a dead weight doesn't need life support. It doesn't need weapons. It just needs momentum. And the ironclad had plenty. Impact in 5. 4, 3. The prismatic shield of the flagship flared. It was a wall of solid light. 2. Cole closed his eyes. 1. Crash. There is no sound in space. But if there were, it would have been the sound of a god snapping his fingers. The ironclad hit the light of dawn midships. The prismatic shield tried to disperse the energy. It failed instantly. The sheer density of the human battleship shattered the field. The nose of the ironclad, reinforced with meters of titanium armor, punched into the golden hull of the alien ship. It didn't stop. It drove deep, tearing through decks, crushing ballrooms, libraries, and crew quarters. The momentum carried both ships forward in a tangled, burning embrace. The reactor of the ironclad finally went critical. Boom. A miniature star ignited inside the Solari flagship. It wasn't just the ironclad. Across the sector, the scene repeated itself. The Indomitable slammed into a cruiser, snapping it in half. The Fearless clipped the wing of a frigate, sending it spinning into an asteroid. The Broken Arrow, missing its entire port side, managed to collide with a carrier, detonating its fuel reserves. It was a massacre. It wasn't a battle. It was a demolition derby. The elegant, artistic ships of the Solari were not built for collisions. They were built for dancing. And the humans had just tackled them onto the pavement. Minutes later, the silence returned. The debris field was massive. Clouds of gold and gray metal floated together. A single human corvette, the UNS Sparrow, drifted through the smoke. It was the only survivor, too small to ram, It had been ordered to record the event. "Command," the pilot of the Sparrow whispered, his voice trembling as he looked at the graveyard. "This is Sparrow. The enemy fleet is destroyed. The Proxima line is secure." He zoomed his camera in on the wreckage of the Solari flagship. The golden hull was ripped open, gutted by the burnt-out husk of the ironclad. They had won. But the cost was absolute. The Battle of the Proxima Line changed galactic warfare forever. The Solari Empire sued for peace 3 days later. They didn't want to fight the humans anymore. Not because we were stronger, but because we were insane. They told the Galactic Council, "You cannot fight a species that is willing to become the ammunition. It is illogical. It is terrifying." Humanity rebuilt. We built new ships, better ships, but we never forgot the lesson. On the hull of every new Terran vessel, painted in red letters right above the engine exhaust, is a warning to anyone who thinks their shields are invincible. Warning: this ship is also a brick. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. We often think advanced technology will save us. But sometimes you don't need a laser. Sometimes you just need a very heavy rock and the will to throw it. If you would ride the ship all the way down, smash that like button. Comment below. What is the most human tactic you can think of in a space battle? Subscribe. And remember, physics always wins. Transmission ended.